Hello and welcome back to Finally Friends. Today we're going to focus on some of the outside spaces. We're about to have some major work done in our hangar and we want to make it into an outdoor kitchen. This is our hangar and it's quite a large building, and next week they're coming to put a cement floor in to just level it out. It already has like a nice base, but we want to have a concrete floor in it. And then this area here, we want to put the barbecue and some bits and pieces, but an outdoor kitchen. And then around the back, we'll have we've got a lot of round tables from when this used to be a restaurant. And so we're going to set up round tables and chairs. And then we'll have a seating area, but we have some work to do in here first before we can get to that point. But it is really a large hangar. And so we're going to be able to have a really nice outdoor event space here. That's going to be what happens next week, hopefully. And then we have a pump house over here. And I'm going to have this just as my tool shed for outdoor gardening, which is really needing a lot of work right now, but that's another story entirely. And then over here, we have the barn and another shed. So on this part of the property, this is the wing that has the kitchen and guest room and all of that. There's an old well that doesn't work anymore, but we want to fix up this area to just be kind of a nice hangout area. And then here is the barn, and you can see it's really quite beautiful. We've just had a lot of the greenery cut back, growing again quickly, but nonetheless, we've had it all cut back, so we just need to refinish some of this. And then inside, a lot of stuff to go through. I used to have a shop in Ohio and Los Angeles, and so I have a whole lot of things, just office supply kind of things from there that I still have to go through and find a place for. But in here, we have the area where we have all of our equipment for the property. The water softener, all the heating. And then back here, you can see there's a room in the back that's for storage. And this is all for storage right now. This is all for storage. But you can see it still has the feeders up. So if we wanted to have some little animals, we actually could. But yeah, all of this needs to be cleaned up and redone. And the first major project we have to do in here is a beam situation, as you can see. So once we have the beam redone, then we can do the flooring upstairs. And it's just a massive barn, and just the floor up above is completely deteriorated. So not safe to go up there. But anyhow, that's the inside of the barn. And so you can see there's a lot of space to do things here. Leaving the barn area, we go over to the next shed. It really doesn't look huge on the outside, but someday we would maybe like to make a Jeep out of it. So we unlock it, let's see if we can get in. There we go. And going on in. There's no electrics in here yet, so it's hard to show you too much, but you can see there's all our chairs for our seating areas that we were going to be setting up. And then here's all of the old equipment from the former kitchen. See, it's all pretty old, but all still usable if we decide to. But anyhow, this space, again, nice big space in here, and we could put windows up there, which would be just really, really nice. But we would really like to make this someday a gîte in this building. And it has nothing right now, as the floor is just dirt. But you can tell they used to use it at one point, obviously more than it is today. Now it's just storage. moving on from the gîte area, we have another outbuilding, and this one is a big question mark because this end space down here, I would love to put a solarium on the front of it, double glass doors and a solarium, and then in here another quite large space, as you can see. And I would love to have my office and a little shop out here. Again, I'm an eyewear designer, and I think I'm just going to be doing sunglasses. So maybe just a sunglass shop and office space out here. And then here is where we want to put the greenhouse. So we're going to have some garden beds put out here, greenhouse out here, and kind of get it decked out a little bit with some cypress trees and maybe even a couple palms, that type of a thing. But this is the space where we want to be able to do that. And then we have here 3 little rooms, and they don't go all the way to the ceiling. The walls in between don't go all the way to the ceiling. They're not supporting walls, so we could actually change the configuration of this however we want. This part of the property, we cannot change the exterior at all. But this part over here is a new build, and we can change this up. But we may just use this as 3 changing rooms, or 2 changing rooms, and maybe have the end room there attached to my office. And then at the far end of the property beyond the tower, there's an enclosed garden. We want to put a pool in down there. So this will all get used in the future, but we're talking way down in the future, because as you can imagine, each one of these things is costly. Just the price of the beam in the barn has been given to us a quote of 23,000 euros, which frankly I think is Chateau pricing, but we'll get it figured out. And then back here is a real messy area, and it's an area that we want to use for a chicken coop, but it's just kind of a junky area right now. So, and then that goes into the park. So walking towards the front of the property, by the way, this ground here used to all be this pebble finish, and we had a huge rainstorm last year, and rains lasted for weeks, and it just turned into a mud pit, and the mud absorbed all of the rocks. And so actually there's some places I've planted grass, but we're going to just let it grow in a bit for a while, and then when we figure out where we want the driveway exactly and the parking, then we will place those exactly where we want them. This area over to the right is an enclosed garden, which is quite grown in right now. It's just, for now, it's just an area for the dogs to run around. And that's where we want to put the pool. And we will bring the fence that's there right now. It will come out to where you see the trash cans. The fence is going to come all the way out to here. So it will increase the yard by the pool by quite a bit. So we can do lawn bowling and things like that in this area right here. So we'll do that. And then obviously we're going to put a fence here. That's just there to keep the dogs in right now because we have little puppies, and we don't want them getting out into the big park. The big ones, it's totally fine. The little ones, don't want to lose them. Anyhow, so that's just an overview showing you some of the outbuildings, give you an idea of some of the projects that are coming up. As you can see, we've actually been working on some of the trees, trying to get them back to being healthy again, specifically this one right now. Those have just been trimmed this year, or the end of last year, and they're coming back nicely. So lots to do, but lots has already been done, and we have many plans that you're going to be coming along with us while we work on them. Enjoyed our time together today while I show you the exterior and the outbuildings, and we hope you continue to join us through the weeks as we go through some of the different projects in our property. Thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon. I know there's some that'll wonder why I haven't been on camera for a couple weeks. I actually was over in the orchard and had some stings and some bites, and I had an allergic reaction. It is not something you want to see, take my word for it, but I will be back as soon as I'm a little bit more back to normal. There are times in the middle of all the projects that are going on, you have to just kind of sit back and appreciate everything that you have and the weather and just the peace and tranquility, because it certainly is not the case for many people right now.